We've designed EcoStruxure Security Expert to be both scalable and resilient because, as you can imagine, managing large buildings is quite different to managing small and medium-sized facilities. The larger the building, the more security management team needs to visualize the facility status graphically, manage more systems through one integrated management platform, and deploy more cause and effect based interfaces between building systems. EcoStruxure Security Expert meets the needs of these larger facilities, which require complex workflows to be managed via integrations. And at the same time, EcoStruxure Security Expert SmartX Web Controller, the SPC Web, is an appliance-based device that provides simplified security that suits the less complex needs of small buildings. It provides feature-rich integration access control and intrusion detection at a much lower cost of ownership. Security Expert is powered by our industrial-grade controllers. These powerful IP controllers lay a strong foundation for a robust security management system that performs reliably and scales to the needs of the business. They function in full autonomy and do not require a system server to manage these devices. High assurance on alarms delivery, the controller can be configured with diverse path communications to the event server in its standard configuration. This feature makes Security Expert fully compliant for high security applications. For example, the EN standards for grade 3 security in Europe and class 5 security in Australia and New Zealand. Security Expert controller manages doors for access control and security zones for intrusion detection, making the offer suitable for integrated access control and intrusion detection natively. Unlike many disparate systems not able to provide this functionality from one system. The controller peer-to-peer communication ability, which is server independent, spans doors and alarm zones across multiple controllers, making system planning very easy and highly engineering efficient. So to summarize, EcoStruxure Security Expert is an integrated, role-based, physical access control and intrusion detection system that unifies a building's security infrastructure and management systems into an easy-to-manage single platform that enables faster and more efficient decision-making. So now I want to spend some time looking at the enhancements that we've made to Security Expert this year, starting with the changes to the licensing model. The licensing for Security Expert has been based around a simple model which adjusts to the size and complexity of the installation. This model comprises of 3 tiered options. The first is the base license, which covers the functions that are generally needed to set up and run a security system. This includes a client workstation license and a long list of standard features. Given this, in many cases, there's no need for additional software licenses to deliver a complete project. Next, though, where it's needed, we add on extension licenses. These cover requirements for items like additional doors and cameras and features such as time and attendance, which is different. I'll make a side note here, different than the time and attendance that we've had in ESME and the time and attendance solution that we have for Finland, and muster reporting. We also have Active Directory integration. These extension licenses are related to access control and user management and enable the system to scale based on the size and complexity of the project. And then finally, the last part of the licensing model is around integrations. There are a variety of ready-to-use APIs written for Security Expert that make integration with third-party security systems possible. We have integrations for video management systems, elevator manufacturers, and many others, like wireless locks and key management systems. Further details and documentation can be found on our Schneider Electric Exchange portal. In cases where we do not have integration code already written and available, a software development kit, or SDK, is available. Under a non-disclosure agreement, the SDK can be provided to the manufacturer of a third-party system, enabling their own developers to create the integration into Security Expert. And finally, we should point out that this is a one-time license cost to the end user, with no ongoing maintenance fees. Many of the competitor systems require the end user to take out annual software maintenance agreements. We believe that our one-time license approach significantly lowers the overall cost of ownership and makes Security Expert more cost competitive. To make the powerful functions of Security Expert Server more accessible to smaller sites, we are supplementing the standard base license with the launch of a Security Expert Starter license. The Security Expert Starter license is designed to make implementation more cost-effective. This option is ideal for smaller organizations who want to adopt an enterprise-level solution while maintaining the flexibility to expand their Security Expert system as their site grows. The starter license comes with 32 doors and is limited to a maximum of 100 doors. To license more than 100 doors, an upgrade is available to the full version. Both licenses include powerful reporting capabilities, CCTV integration, customizable status pages, graphical floor plans, and no restrictions on the numbers of users, events, schedules, areas, or hardware expansion. Third-party integrations are also supported in the starter license, with the exception of the high-level elevator integrations. For those, you'll need the standard license. So, with the introduction of the Security Expert Starter license, we're enabling smaller sites to cost-effectively access the benefits of a fully integrated security platform, including a range of software extensions and integration licenses to third-party systems. Having covered the introduction to the starter license, let's now turn our attention to the enhancements that have been made to the software platform. There are a number of enhancements we have made to the software platform, which allow users to speed up both the programming and operation of the system. The System Navigator provides an intuitive tree view for exploring the system, making it easier to move around without using the traditional menu structure. In addition to easy navigation, it also provides quick reference to the connection between records, including which doors are assigned to an access level, which inputs or trouble inputs are linked to an area, and which users are assigned to an access level. Next, custom field selection means that when creating a report, operators can now select the fields, including custom fields, for which the report will display data, and set the order in which the columns are displayed. And once you've filtered and grouped those results into an event report, you can save its layout for easy recall when it's needed again. We've also added integration to the Princeton identity biometric scanners to provide enhanced, quick and secure identity verification. Download speeds on larger sites can now be improved by the use of additional download servers to share the load. This is especially useful for situations where quick updates are required, such as adding new user records via visitor management systems. And finally, a fast user disable feature makes disabling a user record virtually instant, preventing unauthorized parties from continuing to gain access after their record has been disabled at the server. That summarizes the improvements we've made to the software. So finally, let's look at the Security Expert mobile app. Available for free for both iOS and Android, the Security Expert app brings a number of useful features directly to your mobile device. First, it allows building users to use their mobile device itself as a credential. For system operators, it allows you to monitor all your Security Expert sites, including the ability to receive system and activity alerts, and to view the system status and live events. It simplifies control capabilities, including the arming and disarming of the system and searching for records. It even allows the user to view live IP camera feeds. It's simple to install and set up. The Security Expert mobile app is an essential tool for the efficient operation of your system. The key benefits for the Security Expert mobile app can be summarized in as being added efficiency, added security, and added convenience. Under the heading of added efficiency, we can show that mobile credentials provide a simple, more cost-effective approach to managing access credentials and eliminates the time and effort involved with handling, printing, distributing, disposing of physical access cards. Ordering, issue, and management of credentials is all done online with the credentials emailed directly to the end user's mobile device. In terms of added security, we now have credentials being stored securely in the mobile device, with access authenticated using a secure cloud-based server and 256-bit encryption. Given that most people carry their smartphone everywhere, just as they do their car keys and wallet, mobile credentials are much less likely to be lost or misplaced, and they usually are protected with a passcode or biometric security. And finally, compared to traditional cards and tags, mobile credentials offer a more convenient end user experience by enabling a smartphone or other mobile device to securely unlock doors and enter buildings. With most, if not all people carrying a smartphone with them every day, it eliminates the need for physical tags or cards, meaning lost and forgotten credentials become a thing of the past. So, the Security Expert mobile app is smart, secure, and convenient. And we can demonstrate this further when we look at some of the users of the system. So let's look at the benefits to the system integrator and the end user. As a system integrator, mobile credentials eliminate the time spent handling physical access cards, and with everything managed online, there's no shipping, so customers can access them immediately. Multiple credentials can be stored on a single device, which is great for those who are managing multiple sites. As an end user, mobile credentials provide the flexibility and added convenience of card-free access from a mobile device. There are no more issues with lost or forgotten cards and tags. Simply present your smartphone within range of the reader to gain entry, and you customize the read range so you don't even need to take the phone out of your pocket. So we have reviewed the Security Expert offer, its value proposition, and its controllers. We've looked at three key areas of enhancement to the system, starting with the licensing and introduction of the new starter license. We then looked at the new software features, including System Navigator, improved reporting, and multiple download servers. And finally, the Security Expert mobile app and how it brings additional efficiency and security to system integrators and end users. I'll take a pause right now, both to take a drink and see if there are any questions, and then we'll move into the roadmap. Mika, do you see any questions?
No, I don't see any questions. Maybe
Okay.
question from my side, and it comes probably on the roadmap presentation. Is this the GDPR compliant for the mobile app credentials?
That's a very good point. Yes, that is coming up as part of the roadmap presentation. Currently, the mobile credentials are pending GDPR compliance. So the mobile app is still available to be used for system operators to monitor, manage their sites. But because the mobile app credentials and the portal itself, we've not completed the compliance requirements, we are not actually selling the credentials. However, if we have a customer who's interested in seeing a demonstration, we do have the ability to demonstrate the mobile credentials and issue some demonstration credentials for those who want to be able to show it to their customers. Okay, I am going to pull up a roadmap right now, so give me just a second. Okay. So when discussing the roadmap, I really like to first give the overall of the view of the themes that we look at when we put together our roadmap. This really helps to bucket the work that we're going through and make sure that the work that we're doing really meets some of the key areas of importance from our customers. So the first area that we see as a main value is around integrations. So we spend a lot of time reviewing our integrations, and our goal with any new feature related to integrations is to expand the set of third-party integrations that we have. And this is also then to provide guidance on what is available and validated and implemented with Security Expert. The reason this is important is that by providing validated integration architectures and guidance on how to win with those integrations, we'll see an increased reliability of the offer overall. This will also help our sales teams in the tender process to know very quickly if a integration is supported and at what version. And it also gives people the ability to have some honest conversations with specifiers and partners about the challenges and requirements for successful integrations. There are a lot of companies out there and a lot of access control systems that publish a very long list of products that they integrate with. The truth is, however, those integrations may not have been recently validated, maybe for older versions of software, and may require some additional development to work on a specific site. And so we're working to put together some information around that so that we can have that conversation with customers. The second area that we focus on in the roadmap is around compliance. So we want to continue to align with industry standards for areas around communications, cybersecurity, and credential management. Here, we want to make sure that we can identify ourselves as a leader in the market by addressing those immediate concerns related to cybersecurity, but also help us win in competitive bid situations by supporting a larger industry portfolio of industry standard products. And then finally, we look to a theme around extending the offer. So we want to be able to provide a broader portfolio of unique features and licensing options. The value here is that we reduce those barriers to entry and growth for a customer with a license structure that grows and new functionality that meets those growing needs for convergence and compliance. So here's the overall high-level view. I'm actually going to go a next slide in, and we'll go dive deep into each of these three areas and the work that we're doing in them. So in the area of integration, the first item that you see, and excuse me, I'll first comment on the color coding that you see. We bucket our roadmap into three areas. The first are items that we're committed to delivering. So that means that we've put together all of the resources, and our R&D team is committed to it. And this is the quarter in which we're committing to deliver that feature. The second area is planning. So those are items that we've gotten most of the information that we need, but we're still planning the work around it. And so we're not fully committed to those delivery dates. And then the third area is an idea. So that's something that we're thinking about, but we've not even gotten to the planning stage. So the reliability of the delivery dates on that are much lower. So the first area that we're working on for integrations, which as you can see is an ongoing task, is validating the current integrations that we have. So we've gone through and we've identified the top 3 integrations per functional area. And we're going to validate those in our own R&D lab and make sure that we've got all of the hardware equipment in place and that we test those regularly and provide updated information and update software versions as they get updated both on our side and on the third-party side. And that in the end will then provide engineering guidelines for those validated integrations and provide some market guidance on the best practice for using those. So there are 6 areas that we provide integrations in: wireless locking, elevator systems, video, visitor management, biometrics, and intercoms. So we've got 3 top integrations per each of those areas. So we're working on a significant number of integrations and validating them and maintaining those validations. So that's why that work is ongoing. The next area that we're working on are wireless locks and integrating providing support for the ASA ABLOY, PoE, and Wi-Fi wireless locks, specifically the IN120 and IN220. Our EBO integration is constantly under review, and there are often times where either on the Security Expert side or the EBO side, we make a breaking change, and so we've got to evaluate that and repair that. And so our release for the EBO integration is scheduled for Q1 as well. Some other things that we're looking at: Schindler elevator systems have updated their integration method to their port system. So we've got some work scheduled to update our side of that. And then we're looking at adding support for another biometrics product from IDEMIA. IDEMIA is a global solutions provider for biometrics and identity management, and they have a number of very interesting contactless biometrics readers where you just wave your hand through the reader, specifically the Morpho Wave. And so we're going to be, we're looking at adding an integration to their Morpho Manager software as a way to integrate with that hardware. And then some ideas that we have: an additional KeySafe product from CIC, and some additional visitor management integrations. We're seeing a lot of interest from our customers in cloud-based visitor management systems with a very rich feature set. And so we're looking currently at CloudGate by Solo Insight and working with them to put together an integration, and there will be some additional ones in the future. And then finally, something that we're trying to map out is some industry thought leadership around integrations. What is the story about what's supported versus what is validated, and what does it mean for us to validate an integration and provide some case studies for successful integrations in that white paper. Under the heading for compliance, we added some additional GDPR compliance items, and these were, I'll say that out of the box, Security Expert, when configured properly, is GDPR compliant. We understand that every country and every municipality looks at GDPR compliance under a different lens. And so we've had some customers in Europe who have had some concerns around the PIN codes and how they're stored in our system. And so we've added some additional encryption and additional masking of the PIN codes inside the system. This was, like I said, a specific customer request, but I believe it will add value for those who have some very tight regulations around GDPR compliance. And then we're spending a good deal of time at the end of this year getting through some of what we would call our technical debt, or some of the bugs that we've found. We've had a great uptick in sales of Security Expert, which is wonderful. But as you might imagine, with more people out there using and operating the system, we have more people who can find some of the bugs in the system. And so we really wanted to make sure that we stay ahead of that, and that we've got a very a product that is really up to date and easy to use. And so we're taking off the end of the year here to make sure that we address some of those bugs that we're seeing on a lot of sites. So then we'll be coming back in Q1, and what we're planning for right now is something around a continuum hardware controller, GDPR compliant mobile credentials. So there you can see that the new portal for GDPR compliance is scheduled for the beginning of next year. And then some enhancements to how we update controllers. So we talked a little bit about the new feature that we have around multiple download servers and fast user disable. Continuing along that line, there are some critical sites who need to have access records updated extremely quickly to their controllers. And so we're working on a feature set that will make that near instantaneous. And that's taking a lot of work as well. Other areas that we're looking at that we've got ideas around, being able to have the user define the amount of inactivity period before a user is disabled. Right now, it's just a preset amount of time. And then a lockout timer, again, have a user defined field about how long to wait after an incorrect PIN or badge is presented, so you can't just keep hitting the reader or the PIN code. And then under compliance, we've talked about the mobile credentials. Those mobile credentials that we have for Security Expert today, you have to issue those from the separate mobile portal. And so one of the things that we're looking at is providing a way to issue those directly from inside Security Expert. So integrating the mobile credential issuance with the user creation inside the Security Expert UI. And we'll do that both for the Security Expert credentials, and then we're looking to the possibility of doing that also for HID mobile credentials. We're looking at duress pins. So today there's the option for a duress pin, which is to increment your last digit by 1. We have some customers who want to be able to increment it by a number other than 1. So we're looking at how we can provide that. And then our help files, we're very aware that our help files are only available in English today. And for non-English speaking countries, that can be a bit of a challenge. And so we're looking at implementing a new translation system to be able to provide help files that are translated into multiple languages. And then under the offer extension, you can see here our ESME transition, which we, I believe, have another webinar scheduled for in a little bit. That will be coming available just in time for the end of Q3. At the end of this month, we'll be launching that. Again, taking Q4 off for some additional development work. And then in Q1, the thing that we've committed to, or the feature set that we've committed to, is our card encoding client. So customers, particularly in Finland and the Nordics, are very much ahead of the curve in the rest of the world around credential encryption, credential technologies. And so your country and your customers in particular are really pushing us to improve the quality of documentation and feature sets in our credential management systems. So part of that will be to release our card encoding client with a complete set of documentation and the ability to have custom encryption keys for specific sites and have those managed inside the encoding client. Again, that's something we've seen a lot of interest from, particularly in Finland. Keypad LED standardization. So as some of you know, Schneider Electric's access control offers span across 3 different legacy offers: so the SMICO offer, the iNet offer, and Continuum. And interestingly, all 3 of those systems indicated feedback to users on the LEDs of the readers and keypads in a different way. They blinked at different rates, they did different colors depending on different things, and to make things even more challenging, Security Expert does that even a 4th way. So some of the work that we're looking at right now is to go in and define all of those different methodologies for indicating information via keypad LEDs, and to be able to make that functionality work inside Security Expert, so that if you have an end user who's familiar with the LED indication of an SMICO system, we'll be able to replicate that in a Security Expert system, both greenfield and a transition system from from SMICO to Security Expert. We're also adding some additional license type extensions. So today we offer our door licensing in packs of 10. We're going to offer them also as a one-time buy up to unlimited doors, and the same for readers and cameras, so that you can, with just one PO and one order, be able to get the unlimited quantities. And then some additional integration types that are we're providing. These are integrations that are developed but haven't been essentially launched yet. And then looking into Q2, the SPACX is a continuum-based controller that we're looking to do some enhancements on. We've also got some plans to launch some touchscreen readers in 3.5-inch, 5-inch, and 7-inch screens. The 3.5-inch will be a reader that has a touchscreen capability for compliance information. So that could be someone presents their tag and then is told that they need to agree to a privacy statement, or needs to be reminded that their safety certifications may be expiring, and they have to physically touch the screen to agree to that, or acknowledge receipt. That will also be a keypad station if needed. The 5-inch screen will be a new keypad similar to what we have for our intrusion detection systems, so a much nicer appearance. And then the 7-inch screen is the one that's probably the most far off, and we're trying to come up with some ideas around what you would see there. There's some interest in that with regards to apartment buildings, to have an integrated screen for security, intrusion detection, and some of the home automation features. And then many of you are probably aware of our Engage app, which is our end user, our building occupant app, we are working to get our mobile credentials integrated into that app so that our building occupants can download the Engage app and in that have access to all of their building information as well as their mobile credential, be it the HID or the Security Expert credential. And from our perspective, that really cleans up the app portfolio, the mobile app portfolio, because now you'll have a Security Expert app that is really geared towards administration functions, and then the Engage app, which is geared towards the end user functions. And then in the future, we're looking at those IDEMIA readers that we're writing the integrations for, being able to resell those, so to sell those through to you. I'm improving some of the user experience for the operator, ideas around saving the layout of the screen, additional alarm handling options, showing the taskbar in different ways on the Windows machine. And then in the future, we are looking at a cloud-based system. So what does a Security Expert Cloud look like? Obviously, we then have a SaaS solution that requires very little infrastructure on site and just a subscription to the number of doors essentially that you would need. And then we're also looking at supporting some additional third-party hardware inside Security Expert. Some of our customers have been looking for that. So that is everything that I have for my roadmap. Again, I'll take a pause for a drink of some coffee and see if anybody has any questions.
Well, I don't see any questions, at least on the chat, but feel free to ask anything either in English or in Finnish, or maybe you have some idea that what we should include our roadmap. So please say it now also. So apparently no questions or comments for anyone for this. So I think we could close this session. So I can say also thank you from my side to participating in this session, and the next session is for the SV Security Expert transition, and it's scheduled on the 6th of October, 9 o'clock Finnish time. So feel free to join that also. Any last words from your side, Adam?
Thank you all for your attendance, and please feel free to reach out to Mika or myself if you have any questions or comments.
Susanna, any comments or final words from your side?
Kiitos kaikille osallistumisesta. Mä laitoin sen linkin tuohon chattiin ja sieltä voi käydä katsomassa sitten tulevat tapahtumat ja sinne lisätään myöskin tämän webinaarin tallenne.
Hyvä, kiitoksia kaikille ja hyvää iltapäivän jatkoja.